Hey folks, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. So today we are talking about the lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees. Come and say hello to me and let me know where Virgo is in your chart. So when I talk about astrology, I have to emphasize that the planets aren't doing anything to us, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when, you make a move, we all feel it. we're in this together. And when the planets are doing something, as you can see here, there's the moon, 23 degrees Virgo, eclipse today, and it is opposing a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm focused on that it's conjunct the South Node in Virgo. This is transiting South Node. So you might have been born with a South Node in Pisces or Aries, but this South Node is in Virgo. And the South Node is a calculation of the sun, the earth, and the moon and trigger points. So the South Node is moving away from something, been there, done that, toxic, or just completed, and you're moving on. And the North Node, opposite that, it looks like headphones, is in Pisces. And so with the eclipse in Virgo, we're looking at a repeat of something. Plus, with the combination of so much going on right now, Venus retrograde, Aries, then Pisces, Mercury retrograde, Aries and Pisces, and we're moving energies on the inside. We're changing. I mean, look at the world stage. It looks crazy in some places. But you maintain your equilibrium by finding your center and knowing what is true for you instead of criticizing Virgo energy. We're going to evaluate and support ourselves, support a group, your friends, your family, whatever it is that is important to you, but without focusing on the negative. How hard is that? Well, for people, it's very hard, because how do you focus on the negative? How do you not focus on the negative and then effectively make changes? Because you're saying, well, I can't just ignore that. That just happened. That's crazy. What the heck? What do we have to do something? So what I'm saying is acknowledge what's happening, because it's coming up and triggering us in so many ways across the board. It may not even look like an emotional trigger, but yeah, it is. And then you ask yourself, well, what do I really believe? Ultimately, a lunar eclipse is, in astrology and in metaphysics, represents the energies of femininity. And so with a lunar eclipse in Virgo, it's the part of you. It could be a friend, actually. It could be a woman in your life that you are at odds with, or you're very close to. They're going through something, you want to support them. But ultimately, it deals with feminine energy and the release of criticism. When any moon energy, full moon in any constellation, it deals with the flow and intuition. And believe it or not, the moon also relates to your financial flow, not just your emotions, because your emotions are what is going to set the stage for what's coming your way. Because if you are saying, oh, that's fine, that's okay, but deep down you're furious, your words mean nothing. It's the energy that's going to propagate that whole vibration. So if we can focus now on the vibration and the frequency of abundance and the frequency of compassion, then we're going to find a whole lot more effective changes coming our way, because what you put out is going to come back. That's just the way it works. What you put out energetically is going to come back. So during the lunar eclipse, okay, Virgo is an earth sign, but it's because it's guided by Mercury. That was what it was assigned years and years and thousands of years ago. It essentially acts like a catalyst for thoughts. so that the thought you are thinking and the vibration that's associated with that thought is going to have a greater impact during this lunar eclipse. Now, I have some dates for you. I talked about this with my coaching group yesterday, and I want you to know where. Well, you may not know. So you can go to Astrology Mojo, as I've been saying for 2 years that I'm updating the website. I will eventually, but you can sign up for a free chart. You don't have to continue on if you don't want to get a one of the readings associated with it, but just get a chart and based on your birth time and birth location, and know where Virgo is at 23 degrees in your chart. Every house in equal house astrology is 30 degrees. And I use equal house astrology. So when we look back in time, because I like to look at what happened, not to stay there, but to compare notes. The themes. That's what we're looking at, themes. So instead of a separatist point of view, like, oh, I've never encountered this before, or maybe it's you can't get out of it. And it's like, I've had this feeling all my life. What do I do now? Well, this particular eclipse back in 2006 mirrors now this month, March. In March 14th, 2006, there was a lunar eclipse at 24 degrees Virgo. And then on March 29th, a solar eclipse at 9 degrees Aries. Well, this month, 2025, there's a lunar eclipse today, March 13, 14, depending on where you are in the world, at 23 degrees Virgo. And on March 29th, there will be an Aries solar eclipse. We're going to talk about that next week with the oracle reading. So please come back at 9 degrees Aries. So in 2006, look back in your calendars, talk to family, friends, excuse me, and look at photographs. Where were you? What were you doing? How were you feeling? Because a similar issue is going to arise. And it doesn't have to be negative. It can be positive. I was talking to my coaching group yesterday, and the theme was for one of them, work, leaving one job and starting another, based on their emotional need to constantly give. And now it has exhausted them. So they're going to change that consciously. So look to see where Virgo is in your chart, because depending on the house that it's in, it'll have a different context. 10th house, career, maybe dad issues. 9th house, travel, could be signing contracts. 8th house, money that's shared with others or insurance matters. 7th house, partnership, marital partners, business partners. 6th house, health and work, also pets. The 5th house would relate to creativity, romance, children, projects, and taking risks. 4th house, home, hearth, family, the 4 walls and the people in it, and your identity ultimately. 3rd house, how you perceive something, your belief system that creates the vibration that brings the matter. And also teaching and learning, which is also opposite the 9th, which is the same, education. And then 2nd house, finances, budgeting, the income that you make or the volunteer work that you do, but ultimately how you value or not value yourself. 1st house, personality, body parts, childhood trauma, and your independence. 12th house, the psyche, mental or physical prisons or hospitals, needing counseling, spiritual world, and your connection to the divine house as we come full circle around the wheel. 11th house is other people, friends, pals, associates, groups, organizations, elders, and mentors. So when you look at where your moon in Virgo is, good morning, Rhonda. Hi, Erica. Hello. Welcome. Come by, say hello. By the way, we're talking about the lunar eclipse. Next week on Thursday, we'll be talking about the solar eclipse in Aries. That's going to be happening on March 29th. And we're doing an oracle reading around it. So check back with your calendars, because I find fascinating that when things repeat themselves, there's usually a pattern involved, correct? And so, what's the cycle that you're under right now? My husband and I were discussing this, and he was talking to a potential client yesterday. And right before he was talking to this potential client, he said to me, "You know what, Elaine, I am so tired of educating people. I want people who already know the work that I do, how it can benefit them, and they're ready to go." So he was talking to this very wonderful woman, and it wasn't working out the way either of them had wanted in the negotiation. And they both, were very grateful and thankful for the conversation. And I said, you gave that person something to think about. And as soon as my husband was cleared of that, like, oh, I could have done this for her and we could have worked that out. And my husband's a marketing expert and a copywriter, and he's brilliant at copy chiefing and ideas and coming up with solutions on how to sell something ethically, of course, and how to bring in the most for the energy and the output of cash. Anyway, so we were talking about that, and then he had that conversation back and forth for 2 days, and he cleared it. She said, "I'm just not ready at this time." And he's like, "That's wonderful. That's fine. You take what I've given you and use it somehow." And so he felt like he had given his all and helped her in the process, even though she didn't agree to work with him in the end. And then as soon as that ended, 20 minutes later, my husband came over and said to me, "I just got an email from a potential client who is like top of their top tier and this whole connection was made a year ago." Now, I'm gonna have to do a little research and see if made during an eclipse. That's the research part of me to see, let's see what's returning. But anyway, this high-end client just immediately, "I want to talk to you. Thanks for being patient. It's been a year." That's okay. It comes back, right? And how about Tuesday? Okay. So my husband will not have to educate anyone because this person is already top of their league. So what I'm saying is when you let go of the things you no longer want, right? Because of this uh, full moon, full moon lunar eclipse, conjunct the south node, walking away from something, ending a cycle of something, a pattern, a belief system in Virgo, both of them. And that energy is like saying, "You know what? Been there, done that. Why am I spinning my wheels? Why am I circling the drain? What is it that I want? I want to be abundant. I want to be healthy. I want to be happy." You fill in the blank, but also look back to 2006 when we had the exact same configuration with a lunar eclipse first, 24 degrees Virgo. Today it's 23 degrees, but 1 degree. And then on March 29th, 9 degrees Aries solar eclipse. What was going on? I had to think about that. It's like, okay, my kid was 7. What was I doing? I was writing books. Now, what am I focused on? Finding the right publisher for me and the right beta readers and the right book atmosphere. And what am I going to do? And how are we going to work this out? It's like I'm re-delving into my past and my other career, which is being a historical fiction fantasy author. And so that's exciting for me. So what am I letting go of? Well, and ask yourself, what am I letting go of? What do I need to let go of in order to progress? And if it's an attitude, well, that's where it all starts, isn't it? In fact, I have what's her name? Lily Ashwell's Heavenly Bodies astrology cards. I'm just going to pull a card for everyone. Come say hello. Where is the Virgo in your chart? Let's look at this lunar eclipse as an opportunity to release the past. Every moment is an opportunity to do that. But when we're in the energy of an eclipse, sometimes we're wide awake, sometimes we can't sleep, sometimes we suddenly injure ourselves and we're forced to stop moving. Sometimes something comes our way and we were not expecting it, and it's like winning the lottery. What? Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Or being praised, validated, accolades come your way. Regardless of where you live in the world, because I do have people from all over the world watching, whether here or on YouTube. Think about this. Regardless of what's happening politically, It's a culmination of energies that reach a peak where chaos suddenly comes to visit. And we sit down and we say, what the heck is happening? Well, what's happening with you, first of all? Maintain equilibrium. Maintain equilibrium. Because as you let go of judgments and talking about the thing that isn't happening, that's the energy that is in conflict. It's like, oh, I want to let go of that, but I can't stop talking about it. On the low end, anything Mercury ruled can be, did you hear what happened yesterday? Did you see what happened to her? And then we get stuck in the tiny minutia of things that don't matter. And some people call it gossip, but I think it was someone did a study and that 92% of gossip is actually happy news. The rest of it is just BS. So if you get stuck in a loop, watch a show. Work out your energy with wanting to, watch The White Lotus or Yellow Jackets or some drama, or read a book that just helps you expand on that energy in a safe space so that you're not promoting or you're not perpetuating, oh my gosh, these people. And then you get stuck in these people and then you're exhausted by the end of the day thinking about these people and what they did or didn't do or could have done or should have done. Well, let's take a nice deep breath and we're going to relax and realize that the power that we have to create a reality is within. Okay, so what did I pull? I pulled the cardinal sign, which we're heading into. We're already in the energy of the cardinal energy. Cardinal is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And so bravery, a pioneering spirit, instigating. You don't want to challenge someone. You want to be someone's opportunity. So if you hear something you don't like, you can, in a conversation, instead of challenging someone, like, where's your proof? Or really, you believe that? Okay, what else do you believe? Do you believe in, harm and prosecution and persecution? Don't. If you match your vibration to somebody else's lower vibe that's stuck in a loop of trauma, and they don't stop talking about the trauma, they don't stop talking about the horror, the what's going on in the world. I'm not saying ignore it completely. I'm saying know that it exists. We know that it exists, and we have empathy for it, and we have compassion for it. And then you can say, oh, I feel for you. Is there anything I can do? Can I get a phone number for you? Can I hook you up with, a mental health professional? That's what I wanted to say to so many people that I don't know, but I hear them doing this. And it's like you're adding to the noise of the world. Let's all bring it down a notch, people, and bake some keto cupcakes. Okay? I did. They're delicious. So think about what you've been doing and how can you be the opportunity for yourself and someone else. So you take something that you have done and you're not proud of it. You're not happy about it. You want to change that behavior. I had someone say to me yesterday, oh my gosh, you know what? This person said, I have a tendency to go fast. I have a tendency to want to get there in a hurry. And suddenly I'm on the road and a school bus comes in front of me and then something else. And I'm forced to slow down. I took a deep breath in the car, they said, and realized, okay, I know my ancestors, my passed on loved ones, my team and spirit is with me all the time. Why am I rushing? Where do I have to go? This person's an Aries rising, by the way. Where do I have to go in such a hurry? Let me just relax. This has been the bane of my issues, is just like, hurry up, get there, and then pull a muscle or, and so this person said, and then suddenly, because we were all slowed, a fox crossed the road. Had we had been zooming, this person said, I would have hit the fox. I know it would have felt worse because they're an animal lover. So think about that. This person caught it in the moment. I want you to think about that. Whatever you're doing. Hey, Pam, welcome. Long time no see. Think about what's happening in your world right now, and you want it to be different. What steps can you take? Or maybe you need to rest and stop doing so much. Maybe you need to stop overloading your plate. So when we look at that cardinal sign, it is, here's the picture, by the way. Look at that. A little bit of fire goes a long way. You don't have to explode in someone's face. You can just be the light, a little match. Put a thought into the room, into the group. Just everybody calm down and say, well, let's think about this before we all pounce on it. And we all jump on it because we all have opinions and beliefs that perpetuate the victim. And we need to stop perpetuating the victim. How many people want to do that? Yeah, me. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for listening. So what else can we do during this time? Well, when the moon lunar eclipse in Virgo is helping you to spotlight, okay, this just came out. The opposition, because I was just going to talk about the opposing energies. Okay, opposition is what you well, it says imbalance, a point of tension and a power struggle. Okay, so thanks for the prompt, Lily Ashwell. If you are about to engage in a power struggle because you want something done and someone's not doing it your way, like when I say to my husband, oh, maybe we could, do that in the fireplace and we can, it's like, well, no, because I really think it will work better this way. And I immediately think to myself, do I have a need to control this situation? We're going to have a happy fire anyway. It's going to be beautiful. And it makes him happy to do it that way. Why do I need to control that situation? And this morning I was making a suggestion to my husband about something. And he immediately challenged, oh, really? What have you done about the situation? And I said, well, I did this, I did that, I did that, very calmly. And then I went in the other room. I had something else to do. And he came in 5 minutes later and he hugged me and he kissed me and he said, I am so sorry. I just jumped on you. He said, I was feeling edgy and I took it out on you and I apologize. You're so kind. You're always trying to find the solution for me or to help me voice my opinions and blah, blah, whatever. And I said, it's okay. We're working together in this. I did it to you yesterday about the fire. It's like as soon as you recognize you're coming from a place of wanting to control or change someone, that's when I want you to take a nice deep breath. Everybody right now. What can I do for me right now? Not them. We're not looking to change anybody. We're looking to end a cycle that keeps us criticizing what they're doing because it's not our way. Now, if you see someone doing actual harm, down the street or something to an animal or throwing rocks at squirrels, yeah, step in. I'll be right next to you. But if someone just wants to do it their way, tie up the garbage a certain way, what? So what? What is the nitpicky energy that we're focused on? Well, we want to change that focus now in this lunar eclipse, and let's talk about vibration. Vibration is the whole thing. It's the whole picture. Because when you're vibing a frequency of service, but not at the sake of yourself, what you're outputting is gratitude. Like, I want to help. I want to help. So then ask, is there a way I can help you? That's it. You don't have to force your opinion on anyone. Is there something I can do to help? You look a little stressed out. Would you like a cup of tea? I'm making one for me. Would you like one too? No, that's okay. All right. Then you walk away. You've done your part. And the energy too of gratitude, literally, it is the essence of conscious manifesting. If you want to make something happen, go within, be grateful for what you have. What do you have? What do you have? You can walk, you can talk, you can see, you can sing, you can swallow food, you have food to swallow, you have a great pillow. And I mean the simplest things. We are looking to dismantle the victim's voice. No, I tried, it didn't work. Okay, it happens that way. And then our babies come out, the little kid in us that didn't get our needs met. Okay, So if we are acting out somehow, I'm not downing therapy. I'm just saying, let's not spend a year talking about the same issue. Because if we're not changing something, it doesn't matter how much you talk about it. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I'm going to pull one more card. Is this helpful? Hey! Wait, Lucia. Correct? Good morning. All right. These two want to come out, and I don't. Whoa. And then 16 more. Oh, again. All right. This is interesting. So opposition came out again. So really think, what's getting under your craw? What is bothering you? And then I pulled Taurus, trust, patience, and sensuality. That means feeling. It doesn't mean sex. Sensuality is feeling. It's understanding that when you allow yourself a deep breath, you're oxygenating your blood. When you allow the breeze to come through the window and it literally caresses your skin and you say, that's how gentle I need the world to be. That's how gentle I need my world to be, says Taurus. And I am a Taurus. And then trusting that I'm going to get my needs met because I'm outputting gratitude. So whenever I feel opposition and a power struggle is about to ensue, even though, look at these colors are beautiful. They're just beautiful. It caught my attention because I love fuchsia and magenta. But then I look at the line going across the opposition. What am I opposing right now? And maybe I'm not opposing anything and someone has a problem with that. How could you just sit there and not care? I care. I move energy like Dr. Strange. I don't have to throw rocks at people. My protest is different. My protest is, that's not okay. I'm going to sign a petition. Or I'll donate money. Or I'll donate time. Or I'll give a perspective that maybe isn't in the room. So you may be drawing opposition to you. You may not be the one who's angry. You may be drawing opposition to you. Or you may be thinking in terms of one way, but don't see the opposite. As in, oh my gosh, a client said to me, I want something different. I want a different job. And I said, okay, well, have you been looking? And what is it that you're wanting to do? And they're like, well, I've been doing this thing for 30 years and I don't want to do that anymore. And I said, okay, what would you like to do? And they said, but I don't, before they even told me what it was, they're like, but I don't really have the qualifications for it. Like, okay, because you're looking at it from the perspective of, this is what I know, not, oh my gosh, there's so much I can learn. There's so much I can learn, and starting over doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to mean, 5 years in school for a degree like I did the first time 30 years ago. Now it can mean I have so much to offer this world. Write a resume, I say. Write a resume that has nothing to do with business. Write a resume about all your talents. I'm compassionate. I love music. I know how to garden, whatever the resume is, and focus on your talents. And when you focus on the things that you know, not that you were trained to do that you don't want to do anymore, that there's a difference. As I spoke to another client yesterday, and I said, you already know how to do that, and it's exhausted you, and you've been doing it for years. Are you ready to stop and do something else? Yes, they've already started. They are bridging the gap to a new career. And they did a training program with me. They worked on things in their own world, and they started to apply. That's the application is key, because the center of an opposition is finding the middle ground and applying what you know, one step at a time, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, and saying, I am creating a reality in a physical world that doesn't always suit me or agree with me, or, how am I going to garden when it's snowing? Start it on the inside. you got a windowsill. Yeah. I'm thinking you don't live in a closet. So start get a little tray and you start making seed. I grow my own broccoli sprouts because they have 60% more nutrients than broccoli. And I don't like broccoli. My doctor said, you need the sulforaphane. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I learned how to grow broccoli sprouts. And then I went to clover. And then I went to some other, and I don't have a lot of window space, but I got these little boxes and I grow them. This is like the universal sign for growing things. So it doesn't have to be hard is what I'm saying. Anybody have any questions about this particular lunar eclipse? Anybody feeling anything? I'm feeling very optimistic. Usually, and I have to say, I would say most times in a lunar eclipse, I'm so tired, I can't keep my eyes open. I've had more energy the past couple of days than I can, and I know that it's infused with the solar eclipse in Aries, and that kind of energy is just like, all right, who wants to paint the house? I'm already picking out colors. So, anybody have anything? And it's a 7-second delay. So by the time I say it and you hear it, I might be moving on to other things, but let me know. And I'm going to grab another. I'm going to go with the Moonology to keep in theme, keep with the theme of the lunar eclipse, Yasmin Boland's Moonology. And I'll mix this up. So Lucia says, I have so many ideas. I also got a job in a totally different field than my current career. See, I love that. And I hope you're happy. What sign are you? And do you know your rising sign? Okay, in finance and going to work for a gym. What a relief. Now you can take what you know, not just about finance, but about people. And you're a people person, right? What sign are you, sweetie? When were you born? All right. So, Leo rising. What's your sun sign? What's the sun sign? You might have told me and I don't remember. Okay. Is this card not perfect? It is the You Are Good Enough. Full moon in Virgo. Ta-da! Look at that. And it's a lot of green. So I have green screen. You are good enough. Capricorn, Leo rising. You are good enough. So as long as a person watching this, whether now or in a replay, if you know where Virgo is in your chart, and that's what Virgo looks like, you know what? Let me see if I can make that bigger. I don't know if this is going to enlarge me or it. Oh, okay. I don't know if that got bigger for you, but there's Virgo right there. That's Virgo. It looks like an M with a little P attached to it. And wherever Virgo is in your chart, this is the vibe that we're talking about, that you are good enough, that you don't have to do anything you don't want to do because you're not going to be judged except by yourself. And if someone says, yeah, I don't agree with that. I think putting green on that wall is not going to work. And you say, but I love purple. So I'm going to put a little purple and a little green, and I think it's going to work fine. Thank you so much for your input. Then you walk away. Okay. So knowing where your Virgo is, you're going to have a better idea of the themes that you will be encountering. And plus, I said earlier that in 2006, we are going to revisit now, if you're paying attention, we're going to revisit some similar themes that you had in 2006 of March when there was a when there was, I have Leo on the brain, when there was a 24-degree lunar eclipse, Virgo, on March 14th, 2026. And then on March 29th, 2026, there was a 9-degree solar eclipse in Aries, which we're going to have on March 29th, 2025. 9 degrees of Aries. So please come back next week. And in the meantime, pace yourself. Do something wonderful for yourself. And if you feel the need to help another, and whether it's a pet, a person, something online, you can contribute to a community. Virgo loves communities. They love to support different. Virgo energy loves to support the underdog, and also anything dealing with medicine and healing. Doesn't have to be traditional medicine, because I have issues sometimes with traditional medicine. It can be herbs. It can be homeopathic. It can be essential oils. It can be chanting, crystals, sound healing, sound baths, whatever it is you want to do to contribute to this world. During this time frame, you're setting it up for the next 6 months, because in September, we're going to have 2 more eclipses like we do every year. Sometimes we have a sandwich, 3 in a row. But next September, we're going to have, let me see, hang on. September 7th, it is 15 degrees Pisces. So we're going to be jumping across the pond to this side. And then that's a total lunar eclipse. And then on September 21st, 29 degrees Virgo. So we're going to visit the Virgo Pisces axis for a while this year, with Mercury retrograde in Aries then Pisces, Venus retrograde right now in Aries then Pisces. So Pisces, Virgo, and Aries are taking center stage this entire year. Do we want to revolt? No. Do we want to set boundaries that are healthy and be vocal about it? Yes. Do we want to have compassion while we're doing it? Do we want to stop addictive behavior? Yes. Yes, we do. So let's think on those things. Oh, I just flipped it. And there's my quasar behind me. Okay, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being present and altering your vibe, because it makes me feel better. Thank you. Oh, look, even my planets. I'm wearing my little planets today. Okay, I've got the whole universe right here with me. Take it with you when you go. I'll see you next time. As always, I wish you peace. And I'll see you next week. Solar eclipse next week in the Oracle reading. Okay, come back.